Hello, all my friends. I really appreciate those of you that have come back, and then welcome to the newcomers who are joining our battle for the first time. You know, we're 4 months into this battle to save the life centers, and I think we're really now at a very critical junction. I think the next 3 weeks are key, and they're our best opportunity to kill Bill 371. I want you to, if you haven't got a notebook or a calendar, I want you to get out a piece of paper, because I've got some dates coming up. We've got a number of actions in the next week that are key that I don't want you to miss. And when we have action items, we're going to be keeping them on the SaveTheLifeCenters.com website. Every event and every action that we ask you to take will be up on that site, SaveTheLifeCenters.com. How many of you here so far have signed the petition online at SaveTheLifeCenters.com? Most of you, fantastic. The beauty of doing this is, even if you have signed one of the printed petitions or the postcards, what happens is, too often, if we're one letter or number off on an email, it's no good. And there's no way to look it up if we can't read your phone number. If there is no phone number, I'm not going to take the time to mail you to get you the correct email address. It's so critical. Even for people that have put in their email addresses on the petition, some of them have been wrong. Email is our best tool to reach you quickly. So please sign the petition online so that and be sure you're putting in the correct email address, all right? All right, what are the action items coming up? Tomorrow night at 9 p.m., we have a national phone call that we're doing in partnership with the Vitae Foundation. What is Vitae? Vitae is an organization that helps us run the advertising that brings the women in to the life centers. That is a crux of the battle, is the issue of the signage and speech regulation they want to thrust on us in our advertising. Bill 371 is basically a speech regulation bill. It's unconstitutional because it only regulates the speech of the pro-life side. It doesn't in any way, shape, or form affect the abortion clinics. If anyone in this city has to be regulated, it's this mob of abortion mills that have been acting for 40 years without regulation. 4.3 million children have been killed by this mob, and they run amok in our city. Hundreds of girls and women who were their secondary victims have been taken out in body bags in these facilities over the last 40 years. Right here in Queens, last March, less than a year ago, a woman died hours after a botched abortion. The abortion clinic was open for business within a couple of weeks. No sanctions against the doctor that botched the abortion and killed this woman. And he's still operating. And ironically, the name of the place is A1. They're anything but A1 at A1. And we were over there. Where's the media? We got a story, a little story in El Diario, La Prensa, and a little story in the Daily News. And that was it. That was it. And on the day we showed up to do our prayer vigil, no media, nada, zippo. Who cares about this lost victim, this mother of 4? Who's taking care of those 4 children right now? I don't know. Okay. So the bill is going to regulate the advertising, and tomorrow night we're raising funds for the advertising in cooperation with the Vitae Foundation. Vitae has been generously funding the subway advertising, the bus advertising, the LD audio advertising, internet advertising. That is the whole contention of this debate. If we don't have anything to regulate, there's no issue. If we don't have any advertising going, there's going to be no regulation of it. What's the point of the advertising? How do you effectively compete as a small organization against the 100 abortion facilities in this city? You out-advertise them, or you try to get the share of voice so that you can somehow get in these girls and women to come in when they're tempted to get an abortion. Now, our advertising, you can see it on the banner at the top of the SaveTheLifeCenters.com site. You'll see it. Free abortion alternatives, free pregnancy test, free sonogram, free confidential options counseling. What you see is what you get. And that's our bone of contention with the City Council. If our advertising is deceptive, we'll sue us for fraudulent advertising. Take us to court. There's a mechanism, if you run false or deceptive advertising, to be sued under state business law for running false and deceptive advertising. Guess what? How many cases have there been on the contentious issue of abortion about false advertising in New York City in the last 40 years? How many cases? One. Someone said one. Who filed that suit? I did. Who did I file it against? Against Dr. Emily's abortion clinic. Where did I file it? I filed it in state court. What did I file for? Deceptive advertising. Did we win the case? Yes, we won the case. And guess who represented them? The ACLU. How often does the ACLU cave in against a pro-life group? Not too often. But we had them hands down. They were running advertising under abortion alternatives, which is our category. And it says at the top of the category, for organizations that do not provide abortion or referrals for abortion information. Heck, an abortion clinic can't run under there, truthfully, can they now? No. They were running their same ads under abortion alternatives as under abortion providers. That was a piece of cake case. And that's why we won it. So if they're so courageous and they think they've got such an outstanding case against us, we'll sue me in court for false advertising. But they won't, because they know they'll lose. Because any reasonable person will look at the advertising and say, you're advertising alternatives, you're advertising tests, sonograms, and counseling. That's what you get. That's what you advertise. That's what you get. That's what you give. Case closed. Truth in advertising. They say this is about a truth in advertising bill. If it's a truth in advertising bill, my foot. This is about trying to pay back NARAL, New York, and Planned Parenthood. Now, a little bit about these two organizations, and I'm going to get to the other events. The main the two main groups behind this bill were NARAL, New York, headed by Kelly Conlon, and Planned Parenthood of New York City, headed by Joan Mallon. What's happened to these two young ladies in the last few weeks? Anybody know?
Kelly booted.
Okay, number one, Kelly. Gone. Out of here.
Amen.
Basically, poor Kelly, apparently, according to the charges that led to her resignation from NARAL, New York, which she's headed since 1992, she apparently embezzled massive amount of funds from NARAL, all the while making over a $300,000 annual salary. And guess who's on that board of directors of NARAL, New York?
Eric Schneider's
The
father.
Attorney General of New York State's own father. Now, do you think there might be a slight conflict of interest in the Attorney General investigating the organization? Do you think there might be a special prosecutor needed to investigate the matter? I think so. Let's see if Christine Quinn puts out a press conference on that one. Now, the other issue is our good friends at Planned Parenthood. What's happened to them recently? Well, there have been a few stings around the country, including in the South Bronx, and what we saw was an investigation where there was a couple posing as a pimp and prostitute who in 1 week traveled across the country and did the same sting again and again at various Planned Parenthoods. They were posing as a couple running a prostitution ring of very underage 13 and 14-year-old girls. Planned Parenthood, no problem. We can serve you where others may not. They were willing to aid and abet in criminal child trafficking, prostitution, false reporting, under-the-table discounts, all kinds of federal and state crimes. They were willing and able to do, and this is on tape. Go to exposeplannedparenthood.com and you can see all the videotapes. We don't have the video hookup here tonight to show you, but you can find it online at exposeplannedparenthood.com. The South Bronx Planned Parenthood went for the whole deal, hook, line, and sinker. Planned Parenthood of New York City is implicated. And just last Friday, our new federal House of Representatives said, enough is enough from Planned Parenthood, the abortion kings of the United States, and they voted to defund them by $350 million. And this is not lotto. Now it's up to the Senate and the conference committees that will hash out the continuing resolution. The two main proponents of Bill 371 have been discredited as fakes, phonies, and frauds. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m., I am going to email you the information about the call. Next Monday night, Monday during the day, a week from today, it's going to be Save the Life Center's Call Day. This is the day I want you to get a new cell phone, get 3 phones, borrow every phone that you can get. I want you working 3 phones simultaneously. I want as many hours of phone calls to the 25 individuals, and we may add a few more to the list that has been passed to you. We want to sizzle the phone lines next Monday. That is Save the Life Center's Call Day. That's Monday the 28th. And then on Wednesday, that is March 2nd. Am I right? Is that
Yep,
Wednesday?
Right. 12:30.
12:30 p.m. We are going to meet and rally at the intersection of Broadway and Wall Street in front of Trinity Church. We're not going inside. We're going to march up to the stated meeting outside for a rally. Bring signs. We are not storming the meeting. Okay? Sorry. We are not storming the meeting. We're not going inside. But we are going to be handing out materials. We're going to be handing out stickers. We want you to make signs. And that will run until probably 45 minutes. From 12:30, you can get there at 12:15. And we'll be probably finished by 1:15, 1:20. We're going to be in front of the entrance where the city council is going in. Councilman, what is the address of that place?
It's Chambers Street, the Immigrant Savings Bank.
Immigrant Savings Bank on Chambers Street. You see, the full city council, which usually meets in City Hall, they're renovating the building. If you come late, don't go to City Hall. We're going to be at the Immigrant Savings Bank. I'll have the details on the email. All I can say is, friends, look, it's great for us to rally here tonight and every other event we've had. But if we don't take the action steps necessary to achieve victory, it's all for naught. You and your friends and those in our email list, which is now over 4,000, will be alerted to these things. There are thousands outside of New York State that will be making calls for us on Monday. They won't be here. But it's up to you to take a long lunch break or get out of work or do whatever you can to be there on Wednesday the 2nd. Yes, sir, question.
All right, is that when they're going to be voting?
They have a stated meeting. They're not going to be voting on our bill at that meeting, but we want to make sure they hear our voices. They may vote later in the month. May. We don't know. You see, here's the catch. Everyone is always asking me, well, when are they going to vote? Well, guess what? The goal is to never have them vote. They generally pass everything they bring out for a vote. They don't bring issues to a vote that they can't get the votes on. So do you see? It's about preventing a vote ever taking place. Okay? Thank you for all of the work you have been doing. Please give your rapt attention to the rest of the speakers and keep the prayers coming.
Yes.
God bless you all.
Amen.